Just like our bodies use physical pain to notify us that something is wrong, our minds use pain in a similar manner. If you place your hand on a hot stove, the pain you feel is telling you that it's not a good idea to keep it there. The same is true about certain types of emotional pain. It is your mind telling you that it's not beneficial to keep one or more aspects of your life the same as it currently is now. It's your body's way of addressing bad habits and behaviors or notifying you that you're in an unhealthy environment. There is a joke that involves two fish swimming next to each other, where one fish asks the other, "How's the water?" And the other fish replies, "What the heck is water?" When you're constantly surrounded all the time by the same environment, you may not be aware of its specific characteristics, let alone the characteristics or existence of other environments. Likewise, if you don't spend your time in or around functional relationships, you might not even know what one looks or feels like. Many of us have become well adjusted to a sick society. Our typical environments do not provide any of the things that our bodies, minds, and souls have evolved over millennia to require. Many of us are lacking real connections, physical exercise, meaningful work, or a sense of purpose in our lives. The truth of the matter is, if you're not already living your life in a way that is a bit exceptional compared to the average person, it would actually be surprising if you felt totally fine. A silver lining to the pain that you may be feeling is that without it, you would not have been motivated enough to look for a solution. It's not a coincidence that many of the people with the greatest understanding of social dynamics were once among the most inept people when it came to social skills. In many cases, it was out of a sense of desperation that they were motivated to learn them. Had their pain not been as severe as it was, they would have never been pushed across the threshold of taking action. For example, if no one wants to date you, and the pain from that motivates you to the point where you actively work on becoming a better version of yourself, then that pain was in your long-term best interest. It's nature's way of incentivizing you to perform actions which will allow you to develop and grow into a better person. One of the biggest fears that those with depression have is that it's never going to get any better. You worry that you may feel the same way for the rest of your life. Maybe years have already gone by and nothing has gotten better. This can be a terrifying feeling. It's in these very moments when your mind is screaming out for help that mainstream social conditioning only exacerbates the problem. Rather than helping you chart a path forward, it pushes you further in the opposite direction. Our society promotes the treating of symptoms over addressing the root causes of problems. It's often more lucrative to have someone pay for endless treatments than to actually solve their issues. We are marketed cheap substitutes for real things. We pay for these alternatives, if not with money, then with our time and attention. But deep down inside, our minds and body know that we're being shortchanged. Facebook friends replace actual friends. Virtual interactions replace real conversations. We live vicariously through video games and television series rather than having real adventures in our own lives. We are numbed by the access to endless dopamine hits and distractions from reality, terrified of being alone with our own thoughts for even 10 minutes. Like addicts, we scramble for our phones, looking for distractions from the discontent and unhappiness gnawing at us deep inside. People love to give their money, devotion, and attention to those who confirm their worldviews. It's much easier to accept the role as victim, to bash others, to focus on the negative. However, these fleeting short-lived vindication highs do nothing to actually improve one's life, instead slowly poisoning you while letting others profit off your dissatisfaction. Perhaps you feel that you have done everything that you are supposed to do, and that it's everyone else's fault that things are not working out the way that you wanted. And you find it offensive for someone even to suggest that it could be in any way your fault. We like the comfort of being told that it's not our fault, because it takes all responsibility off our shoulders. We get to feel that we did not make any mistakes, while simultaneously being resolved of having to take action. However, accepting that a given outcome may partially be the result of one's own actions can be an amazing thing, since it means that it's something that you have some control over. It's empowering to know that you're not just completely reliant on fate, and that you have the ability to actively shape your life. But these tools only become accessible through the taking of responsibility. This realization that it's possible for you to build a better future for yourself is what allows one to chart a path forward and out of the darkness.